Hello everyone, this is Casual by megansabode, Chapter 2. When I originally posted the first chapter, I did not know it's going to become 2 chapters, so I thought it was just a one-shot. So that's why it says one shot on the first chapter. So this is Chapter 2, The Subway. Summary. It's the day of Izuku's wedding, and Katsuki's sure he's not ready to let go. Katsuki sighed, putting on his newly tailored green suit. Eijiro, who was behind him, sat down, staring at him. You do realise you can just not go? Make an excuse or something. Grab dinner with me? I'm not grabbing dinner with you. I'm seeing him out, Katsuki sighed. He doesn't want to be with me. That's perfectly fine. I'm at least watching him leave. Eijiro groaned. You are so boring. At least object or something. Confess your undying love. No, I'm not ruining his damn day and whatever friendship we have left. Katsuki glared at Eijiro. I hadn't spoken since that night, and I'm lucky enough to be his best man. Katsuki turned to do his tie, and the man behind him rolled his eyes. Sure, because it's so lucky to be the best man to the love of your life's wedding. You're even wearing a tie, man. Try to be a little less gay. I'm not being gay, pervert. Eijiro pouted as Katsuki sighed in frustration. Couldn't Eijiro understand any of this? 2 years ago, Izuku had chosen Ochako over Katsuki. That was his choice, and one Katsuki couldn't change. Something Katsuki didn't want to change. Izuku was happy. Katsuki wasn't. That's how it always was. That's how it always would be. Katsuki would leave him alone and die alone. That's how it was always meant to be. Their offer was against them. Remarkably, Katsuki couldn't blame them. Eijiro started the engine of the car and turned the heating on as Katsuki sat in his apartment, staring at himself in the mirror. Green suit, specially tailored tab orange inside of the pockets, or whatever it was. Katsuki asked and got what he wanted. I'll hide it. For you. He pursed his lips and grabbed his all-night card, shoving it deep in the front pocket, flipping an artificial, dark orange, almost a red flower on the top. He stared at the picture that sat on his desk, the picture of Izuku putting on his suit for the first time, laughing as Katsuki needed to zip it up for him. 8 years, and now he had to go to the idiot, stupid wedding as his best man. He grabbed his keys, wallet and phone, put them in his pockets, then left his apartment. Locking the door, he stared at his door for a few minutes. He didn't have to go. He could call in sick, say there was an emergency, ask Kazawa, who had pulled a screaming Katsuki out of Izuku's room the first day of the war, to call him and ask him to do something. Katsuki sighed and went down to his car. Eijiro grinned, moving over to the passenger seat. Thought you wouldn't get in. I'd have to drive your car all by yourself. Get off your grimy hands off my steering wheel. Eijiro frowned, pulling his hands away, and Katsuki started to drive. Hey, I haven't put my seatbelt on yet. Then be faster, Katsuki said, driving all the way to the venue. Izuku pursed his lips, staring at himself in the mirror, adjusting his suit. Katsuki rolled his eyes, pushing himself off the door frame. Your collar's up. He moved over to Izuku and pushed the back of his hair out the way. The man in front of him froze slightly and stared at Katsuki in the mirror. Katsuki sighed, pushing his collar down. There, he said, stepping away. I have a flower somewhere. Katsuki had already turned Izuku around, clipping the white flower into his pocket of the suit. Oh, thank you, Kachan. You're welcome, Katsuki said gruffly. She's getting here in 10 minutes. Izuku's eyes widened. Oh, shit, are we already yet? I don't think I got there. I sorted it out, Katsuki said. It's fine. Izuku smiled, and Katsuki felt his heart twist. Go away, you bastard, he said in his mind's headshot, playing around again. I did nothing, a voice answered in his head. Shut up. Izuku's voice snapped Katsuki out of it. Thank you, Izuku said. I think more people should have you as their best man, Kachan. Katsuki tried to keep a straight face as his jaw clenched. Thanks. I'll go down and check on everything, Izuku said. Leaving the room, Katsuki groaned, pinching the bridge of his nose as he leaned against the wall. Katsuki! Denki yelled, attacking the man in question with a hug. Katsuki grimaced and shoved him away. Don't be so mean, Kachan. I told you to stop calling me that. Katsuki shrugged. Denki's hand off his shoulder. Idiot. Denki pouted, and Mina then tackled Katsuki with another hug. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have so much fun. Katsuki zoned out, looking at Izuku, who was biting at his nails worriedly next to the altar. Where is she? Katsuki asked, looking at Mina. With Jiro and Sue. I just had to come see Midoriya. Midoriya! She ran up to Al to see him. Izuku's face blossomed into a smile, and Katsuki looked away, heart twisting again. If Edgeshot was kind, he'd stop Katsuki's heart so the wedding could be postponed. No can do. Fuck off, he muttered. Talking to yourself again, Bakugo? Shadow asked. Katsuki sneered and turned around, walking out of the venue as Hanta giggled. It was bright outside, too bright. A car pulled up outside, and Katsuki knew he would have to go back in soon to watch the ceremony, to watch Izuku get married off to someone else. He was the best man. Izuku had made him the ring bearer too. Fuck, he muttered. Katsuki, Asia yelled, running out of the venue. Come on, man, you need to go in. Katsuki pursed his lip and pushed Asia away, walking back to the venue. Asia watched him, frowning. He'd been helping his friend for so long, yet Katsuki still wasn't over Izuku. Asia wondered if Katsuki ever would be, then pushed that thought out of his head. Move on, Asia. He has to. Katsuki sighed, walking up to the altar on the side of the venue. He didn't trust his mind not to wonder if he walked down the fucking aisle. Most people were already sitting down, and his mother smiled widely at him, pointing at her smile. Stop looking like a brat, you brat, she mouthed. Katsuki rolled his eyes and walked up to the officiant, who was holding the rings in a box. All you have to do is bring them to me when I ask for them, all right? Katsuki nodded and took the box, peering in. One was slotted with green diamonds, which were wound around gold bands, Ochakos. The other was silver, with a pink stone in the middle, Izuku's. Of course it was. Katsuki stared at the green diamonds, gritting his teeth. Those could have been his, if he did anything about the unfinished conversation between him and Izuku. A few minutes later, the music began, and the doors opened. Katsuki kept a straight face as Ochako walked down the aisle with her dad. She was smiling widely in a white, poofy dress. Katsuki didn't give a shit about the dress. He stared at her face. She and Katsuki were so similar that there was probably a group of people playing siblings or dating with them. Ochako glanced at Katsuki. Her gaze lingered on his face before she looked back at Izuku. Weird. She probably knew. She was probably fucking smug about all of this. She walked up to Izuku, who was smiling, grinning. Katsuki stared at him and wondered if Izuku had ever smiled so much after Katsuki saved up for 8 years to buy him a stupid hero suit. The officiant started talking, and Katsuki pursed his lips. He zoned out, staring in space until he heard something he had to hear. Does anyone object to these two being married? The entire room went silent. Katsuki felt multiple eyes on him. Nothing happened for a few seconds, and the officiant nodded. All right. Katsuki stood up. The entire room froze. Izuku stared at him, green eyes wide, mouth slightly open. Oshaka looked at him too, but he was surprised to find that she didn't look mad. In fact, she looked at him as if she had expected this. Katsuki, sit. Katsuki's mother had started to say, but she was stopped by his father. Kachan? Izuku said. Katsuki continued to stare at him, mustering the courage to say something, anything. He couldn't turn back now. He'd already stood up, already ejected. Why? I never left, Katsuki said, his soft voice alien to even his own ears. That river, when we were younger. I fell in love and I never took your hand. I want to. I've tried to. But you won't let me. I guess I've hurt you so much. Izuku didn't stop staring at him. You never said. Why would I? I'm not the type of person to be taken as soft. Loving, even. Katsuki pursed his lip. I kept you with me and said, you never wondered why my grenades were green? Why I wore the blazer even though I didn't wear the tie? The blazer with green on it. Orange goes well with green. Yeah, dipshit, that's my point. Nobody seemed shocked at the word. Only softness behind it. Orange goes well with green. I'm orange, you're green. And, yeah, you don't have to say this. You can kick me out and I'll leave. But you haven't kicked me out. You haven't said a thing. You could ask me to leave, but you haven't. Izuku blinked twice. I haven't. Why? Izuku didn't answer. You know what I think? Katsuki, I think that you're scared of going back to the night before the war. Kachan, and remembering what we said. Stick together forever. After we'll stick together and we won't leave each other's side. I'll follow after you, chasing the back of your feet, and you'll be a hero. Katsuki's side, and I'm staying until you, Izuku, tell me to leave. I'm staying right down here. I'm not leaving until you ask me to, but that's what I fucking do. The entire hall didn't say anything. Izuku finally turned to Choco. Well, Izuku, what are you waiting for? She asked. Izuku's eyes widened, and he nodded, for he ran down the steps and grabbed Katsuki's hand. Katsuki stumbled as Izuku ran out the venue with him, and they ran into the sun. God, this is terrible. I need to apologise. We'll keep running, Izuku. Katsuki tugged him further forward. You're terrible at stopping your own wedding. You're the one who stopped my wedding in the first place. And the last possible second, Katsuki rolled his eyes and yelped as Izuku grabbed him, pulling closer. We're terrible people. No, we're not. I was asked if I wanted to object. You're not supposed to object, Izuku shouted. And how the hell am I supposed to just talk to you? That's not what we do. We have a heartfelt talk in front of everyone, Katsuki said. Izuku frowned. Yeah, that is what we do. He yelped as Katsuki ran again, and laughed as he was pulled along. Hey, keep running. We've got our whole lives ahead of us yet, Katsuki said. You didn't say I love you, Izuku said. Katsuki turned. You're supposed to, right? And you object? You're so oblivious that you can't tell I love you already. Izuku grinned, and Katsuki sighed. Fine, I love you, you fucking idiot. Do we need profanity? Izuku asked. Katsuki rolled his eyes. Got on to do with it, Izuku. Izuku led him, then started running himself. Hey, that's not fair, you bastard. Izuku laughed as they both ran down the field. Katsuki grinned, watching Izuku's hair move up and down as he ran, thinking about the time ahead of him, the time with Izuku nobody could separate him from. Bakugo, the ring, please. Katsuki was snapped out of his daydream and said at the officiant, shit, it wasn't real, like a stupid April Fool's joke. The universe was playing on him. He got up, clutching the box in his hands, and handed it off to the officiant, and sat back down. The officiant handed the rings to Izuku and Ochako, and Katsuki stared at the ground. Why hadn't he expected this? Izuku had chosen Ochako. Katsuki would never have the guts to stand up and object to what Izuku wanted. He didn't look up as they kissed. Not even when Izuku smiled and looked at him. At the end of the ceremony, he got up and went to his car. Hey bro, I'm going home. You can go to the party, or whatever if you want, Katsuki said, opening his car door. Hold on, Eiichiro grabbed his arm. You can't leave just yet, Katsuki. We've got way more to do with Izuku. I mean, come on. He chose what he wanted, Katsuki said, and it wasn't me. I'm going to have to live with that for my entire life, so I'd appreciate it if you stopped reminding me. Eiichiro stared at Katsuki, then moved away. He averted his gaze. Alright, see you back at the apartment. Eiichiro turned and went back into the venue. Katsuki groaned, getting into the car. The flash of purple in the corner of eyes made him even more pissed. The hell you want is? He asked, turning to look at her. You didn't say hello to any of our old classmates. In fact, I had to tell them you were happy to see them. You were just busy being Izuku's best man. Katsuki rolled his eyes. We all know Katsuki, Jiro said. Then why doesn't he know? He's oblivious. Always will be. She scoffed. Look, we all expect you to stand up, and you didn't. Katsuki scoffed. I imagined that I did, but I'm not ruining his damn wedding like that. He chose what he wanted. You never gave him the option of choosing you, Jiro interjected. Katsuki turned to look at her. You never told him that you loved him, or ever expressed fully that you'd always be there to him. He needs to be told, like a fucking kid, Katsuki, and you didn't tell him, so he chose the only option he thought he had. And now, you have to move on. You can't do anything anymore, Katsuki. Katsuki stared at the pedals. Great pep talk is... She rolled her eyes. You need to be brought back to reality. He barely looked at me, Katsuki shouted, clenching his jaw. He's marrying someone else. Jiro leaned her head back. Katsuki crossed his arm, and Choco was so smug. Seriously? Jiro laughed. Choco was looking at you more than Izuku was. Katsuki frowned, turning in his seat. What? She was staring at you, Katsuki, and guessing you were reminding her of a certain girl with a certain smile. Katsuki's eyes narrowed, and it was clear he didn't understand the reference. You'll get it one day, was all Jiro said as she started to get out. You're not going home? Nope, I've got a... Oh, a lot of old classmates to say hi to. I'll tell them you felt ill. They'll get it. She leaned after she got out and looked at him. What about Ajo? Katsuki frowned. What about him? Come on. You're not as oblivious as Zuko, are you? Katsuki froze at her words. Oh. Oh. He said at the steering wheel. No, I can't do that, Tim. I'm not over Izuku. Then get the hell over him, Jiro groaned. You have a life outside of your first love, Katsuki. You have Asia, and I guarantee he's going to wait for you. Just think about it. The poor guy's been waiting long enough. Katsuki sighed. Alright, see you, Jiro. Ooh, my actual name. Maybe you are making progress. She didn't even say goodbye before she walked away, but Katsuki still heard it in spirit. He sighed, closing the passenger door and putting his seatbelt on. He started driving. He thought back to what he could have said. The river, when we were young. Katsuki still held out his hand, even now, but just as his hand reached Izuku's, he pulled it back. He drove home all alone, and a couple of hours later, when Aishiro came back, he started to unravel the wound left inside his heart, until there was nothing left, until he was content without Izuku. That's the end of the fix, guys. That was way longer than the other one. But I got so happy when Izuku and Katsuki were running off the first time I read this. And then when the whole thing happened with it just being a dream, I started bawling my eyes out. So that's fun. Thank you, megansabode. I think you made like 12,000 other people cry. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, and give me more fic recommendations down below. And remember to drink water, you dehydrated gremlins.